guys, it's Natalie here. So today we're gonna make Korean rice cake soup with dumpling and we'll just get right to it. So what I have here is the preheated chicken broth. And usually for any type of Korean soup or stew or anytime we need liquid, we mostly use broth using anchovies and kelp, but I had some leftover chicken broth from Thanksgiving, so I just popped that in there and we're going to use that for our broth today. It should be boiling any second now. I actually don't know what chicken broth tastes like by itself. Okay, so the soup is starting to boil. Here I have rice cake, scallion, and dumplings. Usually, or you can only put rice cakes, but I chose to add the dumplings with it, which is like really common when people usually make these. So the broth is boiling. And another thing is, I usually pre-soak the rice cakes since they're kind of hardened already when you buy it from the store. So I tend to pre-soak them in water for about like half a day or so. But it really just depends like how much ever long you want to prep them. And even if you don't pre-soak them, it's not a huge problem. So I'm just gonna put these in here. Oh my god, so hot! I eat a lot of rice cake when I usually have this dish, so I'm putting a lot. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Shit. So I'm gonna let that boil and let it cook nice and squishy, and I'll let it sit for a little bit. So usually we eat this around Korean New Year's, which is not the Western New Year's. It follows the lunar calendar, I believe, and it's, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same, it follows the same calendar as Chinese New Year. So I'm kind of early, but I just wanted to do this anyway since it's the New Year's that I celebrate. So in Korean, we call this dish Tteokguk. By eating this, it signifies that you are getting, by eating this dish, you are getting a year older. That's like the basic symbol. Oh my gosh, it's already so squishy. So I'm gonna season soup. So I'm putting some minced garlic. I'm just gonna estimate and see if the flavor turns out okay. So I put some garlic, and now I'm gonna put some soy sauce. Oh, maybe that was a little too much. It smells awesome though. Okay, maybe it's definitely not supposed to be this dark. Oops. It's supposed to be white. It's supposed to be clear water broth, but since I used chicken broth, the color of the soup is not going to be like the typical rice cake soup that people make. And I'm going to put some salt and pepper. Why is it so brown? I think I put a little too much soy sauce. It's usually like white. The soup is supposed to be white. But I mean, it's not even that salty, so I don't know. I don't know what's up with the color, but this is just gonna be my take on it. So I'm gonna put the dumplings in now. So I have one more rice cake. Yeah, why is this so brown? Right? It looks really brown on camera too. It looks like I put a shit ton of soy sauce, but it's not like too salty. So I'm gonna let that sit for a couple more seconds. And I'm gonna put some scallions, chopped up scallions. Some people put it after everything's cooked, but I kind of like them mildly cooked with the soup. So I think I'm gonna take some broth out so it won't overflow on us. Yeah, I've never seen this soup this brown. This is gonna be my brown take on the soup. I'll try the rice cake if it's cooked or not. It feels like it's cooked, so yeah. And last, I have a whipped egg that I'm just gonna pour all over the soup. And I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna lower the heat. So it's cooked. The soup, to be honest, did not turn out as I expected because I think I put a little too much soy sauce. And the color is just not how I'm used to seeing this soup. But I mean, the flavor is okay. It's not too salty. It's just right for me. And like the consistency of it is like how I'm used to. Yeah, it just would have been perfect if the color was a little paler, but yeah, but still happy. So it's so hot. So this type of pot is insulated very well, so even if you take it off the stove, it still stays really warm and it even boils even after like a couple minutes. Even the rice cakes turn brown. This is what it looks like up close. That is really good. It tastes just like how they have it at restaurants. I don't know why I'm holding the chopstick. And these dumplings were obviously pre-made, and I got them at local Asian mart. And I think these were called hot pepper dumplings. So they just taste like the regular meat dumplings, the Asian meat dumplings or the Korean meat dumplings, but with a kick to it, because I think they put the hot peppers inside, which I really like because I like adding a kick to any type of dish. And here I have two different types of kimchi. I have the cabbage one and the radish ones. I mean, by all means, this is like probably one of the easiest Korean dishes you can make at home, since everything is pretty much pre-made and you just grab them at the grocery store. Unless you make your own broth, it literally took me only like 10 minutes. I just love rice cake in general. So any dish with rice cake in it, like a lot of you guys probably are familiar with the spicy rice cake, tteokguk. I can't really think of anything else. But yeah. My mom always makes fun of me if I order this at a restaurant, because this is more like, as I told you before, this is more like a holiday dish where, you know, everyone eats this on a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. And so I feel like it's definitely not something you would eat every day. I mean, unless you really like rice cake or dumplings like me, then I know like people do sell this, or restaurants do sell this dish on the menu. But since this food is so strongly attached to the holiday, I feel like if you if you're not such a big fan of rice cakes or dumplings, you probably wouldn't get this when you go out, but I do. And yeah, so camera turned off again. Not a new news. I'm starting to think that there's really no way for me to turn off the power saving mode completely, because I looked everywhere and I can't find anything that tells me I can turn that function off. So whatever, I'll just like turn it back on whenever it turns off on me. So since I'll probably upload this around New Year's or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I'll just talk about my New Year's resolution. First of all, so I have a membership at a local gym. Not local, it's a corporate gym, but it's like right next to my house. And they have this 12-week challenge sign up that I saw. And I guess basically, if you sign up, you get, not sure about like all the little details because we haven't had the interest meeting yet, which I'll learn more about when I go. But basically you sign up and you get once a week physical training coaching. So the thing is, like, they take your before and after picture, and I'm guessing they also measure your body fat percentage and everything, and of course weigh you and all of that. And after 12 weeks, they pick out winners from each group, one female and one male, and they have different cash prizes. So I signed up because, I mean, I do regularly go to the gym already. And normally, if I'm in school, like right now I'm on break, so it's like my holiday time, and it is the holiday season, so I'm not too strict on my diet, or like I'm not strict at all on my diet. But normally during the weekdays, I do watch out for my calories. Not my calories so much, but like my macros, which is carb, protein, and fat percentage. But we can talk about that later, but yeah, I basically signed up not because like I really wanted to win the cash prizes, but I needed some kind of extra motivation, an extra push. And I guess an extra push to get back into the routine. And also, I just moved back home because I graduated from college, but so I'm making like a not huge, but I'm making some type of transition where I have to adjust to, you know, living at home again, and now I go to a different gym, and my diet, I have to adjust a lot on behalf of my diet because my family obviously eats differently than I would if I were to live by myself back in college. So I just thought the challenge would be like a good opportunity for me to like make a transition and to stick to a routine to, you know, get into fitness again, and not again, but like really get into fitness, and to get into a new diet. So I'm really excited, but it doesn't start till New Year, so until then. It's seriously my favorite. Wish I had more soup. But yeah. So I put the leftover or the broth that I took out earlier and put some back in here. Now it's cold. Yeah, that's one of my resolutions. Stay on track of my macros and stick to my fitness plan. Yeah, I already do work out. I like working out. Usually when I go to the gym, I lift, and probably like 2 to 3 times a week I do cardio. Probably 1 to 2 times a week I do cardio. Or like nowadays, since I'm like on holiday and I'm not giving two shit about, you know, my diet, and I consume So as a result, I consume a lot of carbs and fat probably and everything else. So yeah, these days I do a lot of cardio actually, because I would feel so stuffed and like it's more carbs than I'm used to. So yeah, I do a lot of Stairmaster for cardio. And yeah. And lifting is just like the usual. I divide it into lower body, upper body. And lower body I do, you know, squat, deadlift, and other accessory workout. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm gonna, once I start that challenge, you know, once I start counting macros again, I don't know how I'm still thinking about how I'm gonna fit filming these, since the mukbangs or the food I eat during mukbang tends to be like really high carb, high fat type of deal. So yeah, but I'll figure it out. One thing that we did talk about, because my boyfriend's the one who's kind of figuring out my diet, which is my macros, what I'm talking about, because he's really into fitness and he has personal experiences, so he's willing to help me. He was kind enough to figure out my macros and stuff. So I think he recommended to try carb cycling, which is I don't know much in detail, or at least the one that I'm about to go on, but it's basically you restrict your carbs for a certain amount of period and then you just have it all in one day, or those like refeed days, which you will get to indulge in high carbs that you didn't get to eat. So maybe I'm thinking about, I'll probably use those refeed days to film these, but I don't know. Or maybe I can just somehow magically fit these foods into the macros. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically my New Year's resolution that I have like set in stone, since I already signed up and I already like started planning all those macros. But other little things is, I guess 2016 really sucked for me in terms of I was placed in a lot of situations where I'd be really stressed over my relationship with people, and I'm not talking about like my intimate relationship, for example, I'm like my boyfriend, but I'm more like talking about my relationship with people in general, like my friends or family or acquaintances and whatnot. And I feel like this year I was placed in a lot of circumstances where I'd be super stressed over, to put it really simply, over things that was beyond my control. Like I was too scared that I was gonna hurt other people's feelings, what they were gonna think about me and how I came off to them, and like what my image was and how I was representing myself, like how that looked in other people's eyes and all that. So yeah, a lot of things. 2016 was really rough. Like I saw a lot of memes on social media saying 2016, like how terrible 2016 was, and I could totally, I'm not even exaggerating, it was, I think I've never had a year where I would look back at the end of the year and be like, whoa, that was like a shitty ass year. Like I never had that before. I would be like, oh, I made good amount of progress, learned a lot, blah blah blah. But Like this year, it was just, I'm not even that emotional normally, but like this year I could say that it was like an emotionally tough year for me. And I could say that, not to be like super cynical, but like it was definitely one of those shitty years. Or not one of, it was the shitty year. Or I can't, maybe it's like too soon to speak, but it's definitely like a rough year for me because of, you know, the things that I talked about. So I guess from that, I just really want to, so cliche, but I just want to do me, and I just want to care less about what, you know, other people perceive of me, or how much I'm gonna hurt them, or how much, I mean, you shouldn't be negligent, but I just want to care so much less about others and just focus on me a little bit, because at the end of the day, if you focus on yourself and you're happy and you are who you want to be, I feel like I could be a better person to other people. That'll naturally happen. So yeah, that probably didn't make any sense, and I'm probably gonna cut this off. But yeah, that's one of the big things that I'm like trying to look forward to this coming year is, you know, I don't need to justify myself to other people. I don't need to explain myself if people refuse to listen. I just can't. I just need to accept that people are going to be the way they are, and I shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't stress over the fact that they're not perceiving me in the right way. So I'm not going to stress over that anymore. I've been talking about this, and we keep constantly, you know, talk about this whenever my best friend and I meet up, and we always say we just have a really good feeling about this coming year, and I like don't know why, if it's from the fact that 2016 sucked so much, or it's just that I'm really excited for this coming year, or I don't know what it is, but I really have a good feeling about 2017. And I don't really say this every year. It's like the first time. New Year's previously for me was just another day. I do go out, not too often nowadays, but I do go out sometimes. But especially on New Year's, I never went out to one of those like big events or big parties. I just stayed home most of the time. Probably spending with my family, and we don't even do anything special. We just like sit around and watch TV, or we just sit at home, just doing our own things. So New Year's was just not too special for me. It was just another day. But this year, I don't know, I'm just really excited, and I'm like counting down the days until New Year's, because I really cannot wait for this new coming year, and for all the different things I'm gonna do, and all the progress that I wish to make, and goals that I want to achieve. So let me know and comment down below what your New Year resolutions are, because I'm really curious. I don't know if anyone's in the same boat. It's just me that I'm like super excited to start 2017. So please comment down below. I'd love to interact with you guys, and let me know what your plans are, and let me know what you think about this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's, and I'll probably see you guys next year. Bye.